The presidency has come under intense criticism from Nigerians from all walks of life after they allege that Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party is responsible for the planned protests that Nigerians are planning to stage against the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu on August 1st, 2024. Tinubu media aide Bayo took to his Twitter account to tweet alleging that Peter Obi and his supporters are solely responsible for the planned protests. He called on the DSS to go after them and hold them responsible should anything happen during and after the protest. Bayo alleged that Peter Obi and his supporters they are hot after they were defeated by Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the last election. As a way of showing their disappointment in the last election, they want to overthrow the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu by staging a protest. Some Northerners have called out Bola Ahmed Tinubu, telling him that Peter Obi is not responsible for the protest, that he, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is the one responsible for the protest because the protest is being staged by Nigerians against bad government. Peter Obi is not in government, therefore he is not responsible for the protest. Rufai, Oseni and their rights crew, they've berated the presidency for alleging that Peter Obi is responsible for the planned protest. And I want you to listen to Rufai Oseni. I'll be back at the end of the video.
I didn't know.
You didn't know?
Bayo to be a propagandist.
Oh, wow.
I have a lot of respect for him based on the work he did and in the struggles in this country. But the propagandist nature, I didn't know that part of him. He's just spreading propaganda. And we would like him to substantiate with empirical facts that is actually Peter Obi camp. And if he doesn't substantiate with empirical facts, Dr. Bati, you're the lawyer, I think he should be sued. Secondly, the one that hurt me the most is he went to mention the likes of them, what's it called, Professor Patutomi, that had been busy in a fellowship in America, that he was also part of those that are trying to, this is just propaganda. Why is it that those, I repeat, that protested heavily against Jonathan hate protest today? I'll take you back. There's a tweet as made. You see, Twitter has too much receipts. By Bayo on the 9th of January 2012. You know, as at then, the subsidy protests were still on, Occupy Nigeria. He tweeted, "Songs of protest sent to me by Omotunde Murtala Bello. So inspiring. Sing it if you speak Yoruba." These were people that were excited about protest in 2012. All I just needed to do was to go check his Twitter. So the question is, what changed? The parameters were empirically better under Jonathan than it is today. As at Jonathan's time, Nigeria was about one of the top 5 investment destinations in Africa. As at Jonathan's time, the economy was well close to 500 billion GDP. Today it has halved to 251 billion GDP. As at Jonathan's time, unemployment rate was not the way it is high today. As at Jonathan's time, we did not have well over 34% inflation. So pound for pound, all the parameters. As at Jonathan's time, if you go and check, the likes of the big companies that are living in Nigeria today were declaring bigger profits. And when they had that protest that they shut this country down for 2 weeks, nobody died. There was never a time that the military that was stationed around the Ganifawa Emi Square area went to shoot protesters. In fact, the only person that died was the overzealous police officer that shot somebody called Demola around Yaya Baton. That was the only incident we recorded. But look at what happened in NSAS. Look at all of this. All the time they kept on protesting and making this country ungovernable. Jonathan never for once said, please don't do it. Everybody had a right to protest.
That is it.
So why is it that now that the country is, all the indices are bad, these same people, this same Mr. Bayo that tweeted a song of protest sent to him by Murtala Bello on the 9th of January 2012, finds it difficult and start to blame all sorts of people. Anyway, the Labour Party has responded to him. They said they don't have it. Obi too has been. If he has the facts that it's actually Obi, he should bring out the empirical facts. Yeah. If he doesn't, he should be sued. Can't a government spokesman be sued?
I mean, Dr. Bati can answer that question. A quick comment from you, and then we'll just take a...
In terms of just throwing that line up, it's been propaganda. Number one, the reason for that protest is that Nigerians, according to reports, want to protest the hardship and the high cost of living. So the question as to where the Mr. Peter Obi conversation comes in is, Peter Obi increased the price of fuel and the attendant effect on Nigerians. Is it the one that's the determining factor of how much a bag of rice and a bag of gari is in the market? Is it the one that has ensured, that hasn't made the this student loan come to pass? Is it the one that has made transportation costs skyrocket without CNG buses, even though that is an ongoing conversation? So it is almost moving away from the real issues and pointing fingers at what is not. Right. Let them face the real concerns of Nigerians, which is that Nigerians are suffering a big power. That is what people want them to address. If they can address it, perhaps there will be no protest, not pointing fingers at the gentleman.
All right, Doctor, quickly, 1 second. Yes or
no? He doesn't have a minute.
All right.
But you have to read the statement.
Yes,
because he mentioned names, he provided evidence.
Unacceptable. Well,
so
all right.
It's for the people to defend themselves.
He who
if they say they are not
prove as well. Well, all right. I'd like to thank you all.
I'm sure you are not waiting to hear Ruben Abati's opinion on the matter. He, however, tried to avoid answering the question, but OJ asked him to say something, and what he said was absolutely gibberish. He said, Bayo Onanuga provided names. It is left for the people that he called out to come and defend themselves. How does that even sound? Ruben Abati cannot stop showing his typical nature as a real Nigerian politician. Bayo Onanuga mentioned Peter Obi's name. So is Ruben Abati saying that Peter Obi should come out and defend himself as to what? Peter Obi should come out and defend himself against Bayo Onanuga, a propagandist? I don't really think we are really going to dwell on Ruben Abati's opinion because it doesn't really matter. His opinion on so many issues, especially things that have to do in our contemporary societies, do not really matter. So we're going to move past him. Now let's get to what Rufai, Oseni and the other lady said about the protest. Now, protest is a fundamental right of every citizen, including the people of Nigeria. But just that Nigerian politicians, they always look for a way to suppress the people from protesting. They know what they are doing, they know that they are doing the wrong thing, but they don't want the people to call them out. That is to show that these people are not leaders. In 2012, there was a massive protest against Goodluck Jonathan's government when he removed the fuel subsidy. When APC was seeking to take over power from Goodluck Jonathan, they staged a massive protest. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was one of the sponsors of that protest. Bola Ahmed Tinubu openly called Nigerians to come out and protest against the presidency of Goodluck Jonathan. That protest was a huge success as Nigerians shut down the country for a complete 1 week over the fuel subsidy. Finally, APC got into power, and now Bola Ahmed Tinubu has removed the fuel subsidy. There is no protest. Ever since he became the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Nigerians have experienced hardship. Nigerians have experienced hunger, insecurity, biting inflation, high interest rate. All level of negative indices has been experienced ever since Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Yes, we may all give him some kind of excuse that whatever we are experiencing now is a cumulative effect of leadership failure. That is the 8 years of colossal failure of President Muhammadu Buhari. But you are not going to blame anyone that people did not protest under President Muhammadu Buhari, especially the Southwesterners. They did not protest because they were seeking to take over power for President Muhammadu Buhari. That was the reason why they supported President Muhammadu Buhari all through his failure as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president, and what Nigerians experience under President Muhammadu Buhari, they are currently experiencing it times 10. And the Northerners, they are not going to take it anymore. They are not going to subdue, they are not going to endure what they experienced under President Muhammadu Buhari. Hence, they are coming out to protest. It is important to know that this protest started in the north. It was the Northerners that started this protest. They were the ones that were calling for this protest. And the protest now spill over to other parts of the country. Because whatever the Northerners they are experiencing in the north, the people in the south, they are equally experiencing same. All over the country, there is insecurity, there is inflation, there is unemployment, there is out of school children. But then you can say that the people in the north, they experience it more because of their larger population. And that is the reason why they are leading in the forefront for this protest. We have seen imams in the north trying to gaslight the northerners not to protest against Tinubu. According to them, protest is haram. We equally saw some northerners saying that this protest is being organized by the Igbos, the Inyamere people, against the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Again, we've seen the National Assembly members slashing their salary by over 50%. The presidency has sent 20 trucks of bag of rice to each state. This is in a bid to suppress the protests. But now, you have to look at it holistically. Why are Nigerians protesting? Rather than addressing the issues why Nigerians want to protest against him, the presidency is using propaganda to deflate the issue. You know, there's a high level of Igbophobia in Nigeria. They feel like bringing Mr. Peter Obi into the mix of the protest will make the people not to protest. But Nigerians are saying we want to protest because we are hungry. We want to protest because there's insecurity. We want to protest because of inflation. You, the president, you have not done anything to address this issue. Whether you're going about buying a $150 million presidential jet, you're using 21 billion to renovate the office of the vice president, you are using 90 billion naira to subsidize a Hajj, a pilgrimage exercise. Ever since you became the president, you've engaged in frivolous and extravagant spending. Yet you keep saying that you inherited a battered economy, whereas your lifestyle have not shown that you inherited a battered economy. You remove fuel subsidy, which has skyrocketed the price of everything in the market, and you told Nigerians to endure the pains of the fuel subsidy removal, whereas you, the president, you are not enduring the pain. The people of the National Assembly, they are not enduring the pain. You bought them a vehicle worth 160 million naira each. Your economic policies have brought untold hardship on Nigerians. Peter Obi is not responsible for any of this. Trying to rope him in is nothing but propaganda, and Nigerians are not taking it. They are insisting that they are going to protest because rather than solving the issues that is leading to this protest, you are playing propaganda. Increasing the minimum wage to 70,000 naira is not solving the insecurity. It's not solving the food crisis. It's not solving the inflation. Sending 20 trucks of rice to each state will not solve the situation. What will solve the situation is cutting the cost of governance, stopping the oil theft that's been going on in the petroleum industry, solving insecurity so that farmers can go to farm and there will be enough food for Nigerians to eat. If these things are not done, Nigerians will protest. Peter Obi was not the only presidential candidate that contested the election in 2023. There was Atiku Abubakar, there was Kwankwaso, there was Showere. I don't know why the presidency is not calling any of these persons as being responsible for the planned protest. Why Mr. Peter Obi? The reason is very clear. Peter Obi won the election in 2023 fair and square, and the only reason they are calling him is to give him a bad name so they can break his rank, because they know that if Peter Obi is on the ballot box in 2027, it will going to be very difficult for them to rig the election. Of course, they rigged it in 2023. It will be very difficult for them to rig it in 2027 because whatever they did in 2023, they are not going to do it again in 2027. The only way for them to have an easy win to become the president of 2027 is to remove Peter Obi out of the race, and this is what they are all doing. That's the reason why you see someone like Weno Omokri, Daniel Bwala, and even Donny Okupe, who was the campaign DG of Mr. Peter Obi. They are all attacking Mr. Peter Obi. They have just one mission: demarket Mr. Peter Obi, break his rank, scatter his supporters, so we can have an easy sell in the presidential election in 2027. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.